I don't know fully of Biden's, like, all of his whereabouts and what he was doing during his 4-year term, but I do know that he was not fully mentally there the last end of his term, and so.
Oh, okay. So if Biden pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement, he should be impeached because he's not mentally there. But if Donald Trump pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement, he shouldn't be impeached because he is mentally there. I don't know if it's just me, man, but this almost makes it worse for Trump because that would mean that he was mentally coherent enough to acknowledge that this was giving them the green light to further their construction in nuclear weapons, which is almost worse. Like, I'd almost say it's like worse to do something bad, like intentionally knowing that it will lead to a bad outcome, than doing something bad unintentionally and being so mentally incoherent you don't know it'll lead to a bad outcome. Feel free to take it away. Tell us why you support Trump, Sarah. Sorry. Yeah, I know, Sarah. That's your name.
Yes, that's my name. So the reason why I support Trump is I believe that whenever he was, going into the, all of his, what are they called, before the voting process, going into arenas, talking to crowds, trying to get the vote, all of his, what he was saying, just, it was all different stuff, and he meant what he was saying, because everything that he does and he has said he is doing. Now, do I support some of the things that he has done? No, I do not. I don't support some of the things he has done, but he has said things and he is doing them. Now, Kamala, how do you say her name?
Kamala. So you said everything that they ran on is something that we are doing. Could you read this to me?
It's very blurry.
Could you read that to me?
The pro-peace ticket.
Do you know who this was posted by?
I have no idea, actually. I've never seen that, actually. That's the first thing.
That was posted by the Trump campaign the night before the election. So they put us back in a war in the Middle East. This morning, we had U.S. military bases in Qatar and Saudi Arabia bombed. Well, at least attempted to be bombed by Iran in response/retaliation to the strikes on their nuclear facilities 2.5 days ago.
But
that's not peace, okay? It's not peace at all. I mean, Russia and Ukraine. Russia's launched their largest missiles on Ukraine. Ukraine has launched their largest counterattacks. It's not peaceful. Israel and Palestine. Israel is still ethnically cleansing the Palestinian individuals, and Donald Trump announced at a press conference 3 months ago that he wanted to personally help. That's not peaceful. So I think that this is going to be a fake promise he made to the American people. What about you?
Why do you think that we're in war? Nobody's declared war yet. Now, have we bombed Iran? Yes, we have. And we've bombed their nuclear sites because they aren't supposed to have nuclear weapons, because it's not, they signed a deal saying that they weren't going to do that because it would put other countries in danger. And you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Biden pulled us out of that deal.
I didn't see that. I mean, you could be right, I could be wrong, but
Biden pulled us out of that deal. Yeah. How do you feel about Biden's decision there?
I think it was not the smartest move, only because if you think about it, Iran has many hatred things towards other countries, and it is very dangerous for them to have bombs or nuclear weapons. Sorry.
Dang. You know what, Sarah? You're right. Now that I think about it, when Biden pulled us out of that deal, it essentially greenlit Iran to build nukes.
Because they can build other things, and then other countries also, like Saudi Arabia.
Wait, would you agree with that? I just want to make sure, because I'm just trying to learn more. I'm pretty new at this. So you said that it wasn't a good idea for Biden to pull us out of the deal. I guess, Sarah, would you say that that was essentially Biden giving Iran the green light to continue their nuclear construction?
I mean, yeah.
Dude, that's kind of crazy because they have a terrorist government and whatnot. That's almost that's arguably an impeachable offense. Do you think that Biden should have been impeached for that, Sarah?
I don't think he was mentally there through his whole entire term.
Well, assuming that he was mentally there for that decision, do you think that he should have been impeached for that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know your argument earlier was about, should Trump be impeached for...
So you just agreed if Biden did it, it would have been terrible. It would have been given Iran the green light to further their construction of nukes, and he should be impeached for it. So that's not something Biden did. That's actually something Trump did in 2018. So either be the biggest hypocrite that has ever walked this planet and walk back every single thing you just said, or join the right side of history and denounce your support for Trump and vocally call for his impeachment.
I don't think that he should. I don't think that there's some things with, Trump being involved in this war. I don't think he should have. Not really war. Sorry, I shouldn't say that because it's not a war. He was just trying to stop them from furthering the process of making nuclear weapons.
You're not responding to what I said. Listen, there's about 1,000,000,001 things we could talk about, but there's only one thing I want to talk about right now. You said if Biden pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement with Iran, that would be essentially him giving them the green light to further their nuclear construction, and it'd be such a bad decision that he should be impeached. So, like I said, that's not something that Biden did. That's something Trump did in 2018. So either are you going to willfully choose to be the biggest hypocrite alive and walk back on every single one of those statements, or are you going to vocally renounce your support for Trump and call for his impeachment?
Look, I personally think that we shouldn't be involved at all. And I know that
What is going on? Why are you not responding to what I'm saying? Do you need me to draw it out for you?
No, I'm not dumb. I know I'm not dumb.
The fuck is what the hell is going on? Listen, how about this? Can you repeat the question I asked you?
There's a lot of other things that Trump has done that I don't agree with. There's some things in his policy that I do not agree with.
Okay.
Us getting involved.
Real quick, can you repeat the question that I asked you?
Should Trump get impeached?
For?
Green light on the nuclear bomb. Because Biden took back the bill and,
See, you weren't clear on the question I was asking you. That's not what I asked you. That's not what I said either. That's why I ask us to repeat some things sometimes. No worries. I'll repeat it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Listen very closely. Listen very, very closely. I told you that Biden pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement we had with Iran, and I asked you for your thoughts. You said it was a very terrible decision, giving Iran the green light to further the construction of their nuclear weapons, and he should be impeached for it. Okay, listen to what I'm saying very closely. Biden didn't do that. I lied to you. That's not something Biden did. Okay, the president that pulled us out of that deal, and according to you, gave them the green light to further construction of their nuclear weapons, according to you, made a very terrible decision, and according to you, should be impeached, was Trump in his first term in 2018. So now that we know that I lied to you, okay, now that we know that, now that we can understand that fact, the question I'm asking you is, are you either going to choose to be the largest hypocrite alive and walk back on those statements that if a president did this, they should be impeached, or are you going to vocally renounce your support of Trump, come to the right side of history, and call for his impeachment right here, right now, today, in front of 27,000 people on live?
So I don't think he should get impeached, but at the same time, there's other things in his. There's other things that he should have gotten impeached for the first term that he did. He should have gotten impeached the first year, the first term he ever done.
So why should Biden deserve impeachment if Biden did this, but because Trump did this, he doesn't deserve impeachment? That just kind of sounds like hypocrisy.
Well, I mean, I don't know fully of Biden's, all of his whereabouts and what he was doing during his 4-year term, but I do know that he was not fully mentally there the last end of his term. And so I think then he should have dipped out of the presidency and let Harris come in and take over.
Oh, okay. So if Biden pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement, he should be impeached because he's not mentally there. But if Donald Trump pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement, he shouldn't be impeached because he is mentally there. I don't know if it's just me, man, but this almost makes it worse for Trump because that would mean that he was mentally coherent enough to acknowledge that this was giving them the green light to further their construction in nuclear weapons, which is almost worse. I'd almost say it's worse to do something bad, intentionally, knowing that it will lead to a bad outcome, than doing something bad unintentionally and being so mentally incoherent you don't know it'll lead to a bad outcome. If anything, I think that this would justify impeachment more for Trump than Biden.
I mean, in some ways, yes, I could agree with that. I can, because Trump shouldn't have gotten involved. We shouldn't have gotten involved. If I'm going to be very honest, it might sound funny to you, it might sound funny to everybody else on this live. I think it should be a 1v1 against the leaders that are trying to start this, because it shouldn't be the whole entire, United States going into this, because not everybody wanted this. Not everybody wanted this.
Right.
Don't want this, and we should not get involved whatsoever. Now, is Israel, God's country? Yes, it is. Should we protect God's country? Yes, we should, but we also shouldn't get involved in something that's not where, we didn't have any intentions to start anything with them. Now, the only thing that the only reason why he bombed, the nuclear plants was because
Okay,
they were.
we're all over the place. I still just want to know, should Donald Trump be impeached for this or not?
I mean, I guess so. I mean,
Okay, so then you're not a Trump supporter because you literally think he should be impeached and thrown out of office.
no, I still am a Trump supporter, but
What is the cope? What the fuck? Whoa! How could you be MAGA while also thinking that Trump should be thrown out of office? What?
I support some of the things he's done. Now, this is I don't support it. I don't think we should have gotten involved.
Wait, is there anything that Biden did that you supported? Like the PACT Act, for instance, an $800 million investment into the expansion of VA healthcare benefits?
I mean, I don't really focus. I never focused in on Biden.
Well, I mean, that's an example of something that he did. Do you support that one thing he did?
Kind of. Can you restate that? I'm sorry. I was
invested almost $1 billion into the VA to help our veterans.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%.
Okay, so therefore you're a Biden supporter. You're a raging liberal, and you were riding with Biden because you can name one thing that he did. Oh, why not? Is it because overall you still thought that he was an ineffective president that shouldn't have been president?
I think that he let too many things slide.
Because overall you thought that he was a bad president that shouldn't have been president, right?
I mean, yeah.
So that meant overall you weren't, okay, well, listen, overall you said that Trump shouldn't be president either. You said that he should be impeached, meaning you're not a Trump supporter, just like you weren't riding with Biden.
Yes, I know I did say that he should be impeached because, that's something, yes. But I still am a Trump supporter.
But I literally just described why that doesn't make sense. I described how that doesn't make sense by relating it to Biden, okay? Because you're saying that you're still a Trump supporter because you can maybe name a couple of things that Trump is doing that you support. Well, I pointed out how that's also true of Biden, but like overall you don't consider yourself a Biden supporter because overall you thought he was a bad president that should have been in office. But that same idea is true of Trump. So even if you can name a couple of things that Trump is doing that you support overall, you think he should be impeached, meaning that like you're not.
There are some things from different presidents or people that, candidates that were wanting to, go into office, obviously didn't, that I support some of the things that they have said. Now,
stop and respond to what I'm saying. Why? I feel like, okay, this is the shit that makes me lose my mind, Sarah. You're not even like trying to be like a bad person or disingenuous. I just like, but this is the type of shit that makes me lose my mind. Do you think that I offered a very clear and concise explanation of how because you don't think he should be president and he should be thrown out of office, that means that you're not a Trump supporter? Have I explained that?
Yes, you have. And what I'm trying to explain is that, yes, I don't agree with that. And yes, there should be some consequences to that. But also there were some things in his policy that I do agree with.
But I've also already responded to that twice. I've also already given you an explanation of even though you can name a couple things that he's done that you agree with, this doesn't mean that you're a Trump supporter because in total you think you should be thrown out of office. Sarah, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Listen, Sarah, like this isn't you.
I mean, I know who I am and I know who I support.
What the fuck is it?
Is
this rage bait? Are you like, are you rage baiting me? Did Charlie Kirk pay you to come up here and do this?
I don't even know. I mean, I know of Charlie Kirk. I've never.
Is he paying you to make me go bald, Sarah?
Shoot, I wish I could get paid for something. Shoot, me talking to you.
We just gotta move on, guys. I hope everybody in here understands why we just gotta move on. Listen, I'm gonna choose peace today. We're choosing peace, everybody. If I had a guest like Sarah yesterday, I would have been, you idiot, but today we're choosing peace, everybody.